Hello, everybody. I'm Mel Dorr, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, and I've got Kim Copeland.
Woohoo! Hi, how you doing, Mel?
I'm good. I'm over COVID, but everybody please send healing energy out to Kevin Chandler because he has COVID. He texted me this morning, so I just want everybody to send out healing energy to him. We were supposed to do a show tomorrow night together, but he's not going to be able to, so I'm just going to pre-record one tomorrow and put it up. But he showed me his test strip results. He said as soon as I took the test, it showed positive in about 10 seconds. So I said, yeah, it's definitely COVID.
Oh my goodness, wow.
But he said he didn't feel too bad with it. So
Oh, well, you never know. I mean, I'm still recovering from it.
yeah, it takes a while. But I had been vaccinated like 3 or 4 weeks before we went to Italy. So I felt a
Well,
little protected. I guess, I had probably a milder case, but I took it easy. I didn't want to push it.
okay. Yeah, yeah. So what are we talking about tonight, Mel?
Well, it was your idea. So past lives.
Oh, past life was it? I forgot because I've got the brain fog. You know, not really.
Or
Yeah,
we can talk about, past lives, animals and spirit, any, things like that.
sure, sure. And I know there's going to be questions too. And
Oh,
we'll
Mark
do.
Rhodes is in the house. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Mark. Look at
And
that. Look at all those
Rosaire
hearts you
says,
get, Mark. Mark's giving you a lot of hearts there, Mel.
sent us a question. Our friend Rosaire, she was in Italy with us. And so,
Okay.
um,
Never again. Okay.
okay.
Nice. Well, one of the reasons I wanted to talk about that is because when we traveled, I really felt some past life remembrances. And I think we all can do that. I remember I was in one of the churches and I thought, oh, this was such a familiar thing. And not that I was somebody that I could recognize in that church, but maybe I knew of the church or maybe I knew of that saint. Maybe I walked with her, maybe I was a sister. I don't know exactly what it was, but I know there was a resonance, absolute resonance. And St. Catherine, by the way, was following me around at dinner and
Wow.
the next day, and even when I got home.
Yay. Um, Tell the story about, not the whole story of Florence, because we'd be here all night, but there was a painting you wanted to see to connect with, and you didn't get to see David because you went to that museum, and you
Right.
thought you'd connect with this painting. And when you asked me about it, I'm thinking, for some reason, I'm not feeling a connection. I couldn't figure out why, and so now
Wow.
you'll know. But you tell them the rest of the story.
Oh yeah. So I wanted to see this painting because I knew it was I knew I was an artist and in the 1700s in Paris, and then I had a painting in the Uffizi in Florence, Italy. And so I found it online. I had to do a lot of research to find this. I did a lot. I mean, it said okay, on exhibition or whatever. So I go up to this long story to get there. Go up the stairs, many stairs, up and down. Which room is it in? The pink room, the green room, the blue room, whatever. We finally find the room, and they said, "Oh, we just took it down." I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I traveled all that way, and now the painting isn't there. So that was very. Who knows? Who knows why or
You had
whatever.
other experiences though there.
Oh, at that museum, you mean?
Well, no, all over Italy.
Oh well, I when we were walking in Palatine at the Palatine in Rome, the Palatine Hill, I saw myself. I wasn't trying. It's just it was spontaneous. Walking along, I can see myself in my mind's eye walking in a white robe and walking up those same cobblestones. And these are big basalt, black basalt. And I even asked her. I said, "Have these been here? Or what about these little cobblestones versus these big cobblestones?" And she said, "No, the big ones were original. I mean, that's from what is that? 2,000 years? I don't know how many thousands of years
1,000
ago."
years old.
I know, amazing, right? Because
You
it
know,
was different when I walked in the big ones versus the little ones. I didn't feel the same resonance.
yeah, it was different energy. I never been up the Palatine Hill, and it was amazing. In fact, I had a glimpse of my past life when I was up there as a slave. Uh,
Oh,
I was just waiting. I didn't say anything, and then, somebody asked about where the Vestal Virgins lived, and when she showed us the ruins of that, I didn't think I was a Vestal Virgin, but uh, I found that fascinating. For some reason, I felt drawn to it.
yeah. I
So
can see
maybe
that.
I was an overkeeper of them. I don't know, but I had a lot of flashes. When we were so in Rome, um, my friend Miria, her nephew Fable, when I was there many years ago, took me all around Rome, and he took that famous street where the Spanish Steps are, with all the Gucci stores and all of this. And I think I told you on the bus when I something popped in my head, and I know it was Fable, and he said, "Ask the driver to go see Michelangelo's Moses." And that used to be many, 2,000 years ago, the Bassa Nero, and they tore down the Bassa Nero and put that church on top of it. So I asked him about it. He goes, "We'll drive by there and see if it's open." We were on that golf cart tour the last day. And so we went, it was open, it was free. So I got to go in and see Michelangelo's Moses again, and the shackles where St. Peter was crucified upside down. They had the shackle, the chains. And I just felt Phaedo's spirit. I remember this walkway, and there was steps going down right before you get to this church. And I felt Phabo there. I felt him guiding me, telling me to say, "Go see this. Remember when we saw that?" And when we were on the Palatine Hill, he came to me and he said, "When we saw the forum before, we saw it from up above. I never walked down there." And he said, "Walk down there and see it." Oh my goodness, you talk about psychic flashes. When I touched some of that stuff, it was like, wow. I had a feeling of watching the Roman Senate. I didn't feel like I was in it, but like I was watching it. It was just
Uh-huh.
almost like I could see it in my mind's eye. So all
Yeah.
these experiences, it was amazing.
Yes, yes, yes. And when we were walking through the museum, the Vatican Museum with the tapestry, I knew I'd made tapestry, but I've actually had a past life memory too before then of me making tapestries. But when I was walking in there, it's like, oh, I now not that I made those tapestries, but I know I've made some they must have been big tapestries. I don't know, but I just know that really like that was the most powerful thing in the whole museum to me.
Wow. Um, you know, the thing I've always loved about the Vatican Museum is because it's the Vatican Museum, we didn't see one iota of it.
Um,
It's been almost 2 days or years ago. And to see, I remember seeing the Gregorian chant, how they wrote it. And if you press a button, they had the manuscripts out behind glass, but if you press a button, you could hear them doing the Gregorian chant. It was really neat. But the one thing that really fascinates me there is St. Peter's tomb when it goes down
mhm.
the staircase with all those golden candles and torches. The other part of that is the Pietà. Whenever I see that, I cry. And for those of you who don't know what the Pietà is, it's the Blessed Mother. She looks much younger, and she's holding the body of Christ. It was by Michelangelo. And you can't get close to it anymore because back in the 70s, some religious fanatic tried to destroy it. He broke off one of the toes and damaged one of her eyes. So they were able to repair it, but they put it behind glass. But if you get close enough, you can actually see the veins in Christ's hands. And to me, it moves me because of the motion of the gown and the motion that Michelangelo puts in his things and the artistry of it. And I felt a strong past life connection with him. Not that I was Michelangelo, but I almost feel like I knew him.
Right. I think you have because your connection is so strong.
It's very
Yes,
strong.
yes.
And when you
Yeah,
see the
nice.
Sistine Chapel and you see this, it's like, whoa, you know.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. The history there is amazing. But we there's so many places on earth that we can feel a resonance
Oh, yeah.
with, and even with people, right? I feel like past lives, you'll know it's a person that you can feel that you've met, right? That you've had a connection with. Like I met Rosaire, and
Right.
I really thought, oh, where have we met before? I just knew that I'd met her before. Now we may have figured it out, but still, we were having dinner and we may have, but still, there may be more than that. So there's always a person, a place that you can feel it with, or maybe even a situation.
Right.
Like the tapestries, like I know I've made tapestries. So isn't it that's amazing? But one of the things I think about past lives is, um, when we move away from this dimension, this reality on Earth, which is we call it 3D because there's a linear time,
Right.
and we go to the beyond this time zone. They say all of our lives are past, present, and future together. So our soul has all these in its own wisdom. Does that make sense? So, well,
Absolutely.
that's how they can be at the same time because our soul is multidimensional.
Say that again. I'm sorry.
So our soul is multidimensional. So that's why we can have the past, present, future on our soul that keeps the record in the akasha or wherever. It keeps our records for us, and that's why it's all the same. And we can be other places at the same time. Um, if you believe in life on other planets, right?
That's
We
right.
we can live in many places at the same time. And
You know, you call it akasha. I call it, years ago they called it clairvoyant viewing. I call it astral projection. Uh, you know,
oh,
we can astral project to our past lives as well.
right, right. I think. Well, I mean, I can just pass life easy.
But it
Yeah,
is
just right
akasha.
over.
It is absolutely akasha. Absolutely.
Yeah, the akashic record, the records where the records are kept.
Right.
Um,
So we can
and
access those and see what our, kind of get a feeling what our past lives was.
right, right. And I think, when we come in on earth, a lot of people say, well, why am I back again? Like, what? I must have got the short straw. But actually, I feel like we got the long straw when we come
I
here.
never said that. I said I'm just glad to be here and I'm loving life.
Well, but yes, that's true. But some days are not always that.
No,
That.
no.
And, and so there's always uh, purpose, a reason, and sometimes we come just to give to others. And I think that is a lot of the
I
reason we
agree.
come, to serve others.
I've got one. Miss Orchid's Garden. I love that name. Says, what's even more amazing is that Michelangelo carved several Pietas all the same time, one on display in Florence. Actually, in Florence, right when you go in the museum to see David, there's four unfinished statues carved by Michelangelo leading up to see David. He did carve a few Pietas, but he didn't finish them. But the one that's in the museum in Florence, I can't think of the name of the museum right now, you can actually see the chisel marks where he was chiseling out of the marble. And I've always wanted to see those unfinished things by Michelangelo. And I don't know if there was one or two Pietas there. But then, there's here, and then you look and there's this dome and you see David. And there's the motion of that. I cried. It was so beautiful. And I think he said something about there's something inside of every block of marble. It just needs to be freed.
Uh-huh.
And to think about, how he did it. And you could see where he was actually carving out muscle. And I found out when we were there that he studied anatomy. But he
Hmm.
was during the Renaissance, the start of the Renaissance. And in those days, the church didn't like you to do autopsies. But what they would do is they would get bodies and they would go to a special place and they would dissect them and they would study the muscles and the movement. And so he was also an expert anatomist. And so, overcoming the challenges that he had to overcome and being able to play the politics of those days. And a lot of times, like in the final judgment, at the very bottom are all the little devils, not devils, but bad creatures or whatever. And if he didn't like somebody, he'd put their face on one of them.
I know that's amazing. Really, the history that's in all the art is amazing. That holds so much history. Yeah, people are asking about Florence and the Colosseum, and yes, we got to go to the Colosseum and um, Florence. That was an amazing place. It was a busy place.
Oh, it's always a madhouse. And then you guys had to carry your luggage because they didn't pick it up. And oh my God.
Yeah, yeah. And Roxanne is just saying, her life has been difficult. And I this is why a lot of us will say, I'm never coming back. This is my last lifetime. Um and so who knows, it may change when you're in between lives, because I do think sometimes when we're on the other side, we might say, well, it's not going to be so bad. But Earth is a hard school. It's not. That's why we come here.
I want to
It's
come back.
Well, good for you. Well, I hope you do.
I really
Yeah,
do. I love life. I really love life.
yeah. Well, I mean, I love life too. I don't know where I'm going to go next. I don't think I've decided. Remember, it's just a fragment of us that's here.
It's true.
I think some people may feel, at least this is what I believe. Now, you may believe different, Mel, but we probably don't house our whole soul in our body.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so either.
It's just a fragment of our
Correct.
soul.
I
Our
believe.
soul is big, it's huge. Um, and I think one of the reasons that we're here is to help Earth ascend right now, why we're here right now. And say a dog's friend, I want to go to Mars. I do believe there's space stations already in Mars. I mean, I sent there from a couple different. Um,
I don't know, but I think you just said something though that the expansion of the soul,
mhm,
and if there's a little piece of that within us.
right.
Our soul expands and overlaps with other souls, and that could explain how, if our soul's that expansive, how we could astral travel or
Yes,
access the akashic records, because it would be as big as the universe then, wouldn't it?
that's right. I think we are. We
Yeah,
can be as big as the
I agree.
universe. And it's such a divine plan that we come down to serve others in whatever way it is, whether it's giving or being horrible or being nice, or, you know, we come to be in service. And the other day, yesterday actually, I was doing a meditation, and I kind of got this message. The many steps you have taken are beyond the physical. It's also in the mind, heart, and soul. So even though we think it's just a physical footstep, all this is in our soul being recorded in the Akash. The treasures you have yet to unearth have left a mark on your soul. And I saw this as almost like if you were in the Egyptian pyramid, and we were back, let's say 12,000 years ago, and part of us got buried, during the wartime or whatever. Well, now it's time for us to unearth it.
Right.
Each step is recorded in your soul. Each effort is crowned as if you hold it now in this very moment. Each moment is one beautiful moment on life. Not just Earth, but all realities and all worlds. There is no one greater than you. Open the door to the beloved that is you. That's what I got in my meditation for yesterday. I thought that was really nice. I got other stuff too, but I won't read it all.
Oh, that's cool. You should write that. I mean, you should publish that, because that's really amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Gina Nolan says, Mel, I saw the PA top the 1964 World's Fair. Wow. I think that was in Seattle, Washington.
Wow.
Before it was damaged, you could get closer. I agree with you. It's transformational. The whole experience for me was transformational.
Uh-huh. There's so much history. That's amazing. Yeah.
Oh, and the art I just love Rome. Rome is one of those cities you love or you hate, and I happen to love it. I love
I'm
Italy.
not fond of Rome.
Like I said, it's one of those cities you love or you hate.
Yeah, yeah. It was so noisy to me.
But Siena was really cool.
Siena is my favorite.
And Montecatini, and to go up to the funicular, however you say it, the cable car up the mountain, and go to Alto Montecatini. There's a little village up there, and we went up and had dinner. It was amazing. I love
Yeah.
little villages, but Siena was fun. Gina, thanks for sharing that. Okay, I've got to say, Rosier left a comment here. She says, my two favorite travelers in this world and the next. I don't know what she's taking, but I want some of it.
At least it's got to be cannabis. No. Oh, well.
Oh, this one's a good one. I would love to hear my place in the church in history, specifically during French history revolution. Did I learn that lesson? That's a good question.
Okay, now what's her name?
Rosaire Hall. You know Rosaire.
That's this Rosaire's question?
Yep. She said, my two favorite travelers in this world and the next. I would love to hear my place in the church and history, specifically during the French Revolution. Did I learn that lesson? Oh,
That's a good question.
you were either a priest or a nun. And I think because of your views, you were probably persecuted. So, but look at what you did in this life. You came back as an attorney later in life, on the prosecutor's side. So I think you were very active in the French Revolution behind the scenes. You were certainly against the king. What was that? King Louis the whatever? Which one was it? The 15th or 16th? I forget which one it was. And so you were persecuted when he was king for your beliefs, but when he was overthrown, when he was or when he was dethroned during the French Revolution, you fought on the side of the ones trying to overthrow him, and you all won. Um, but you, for a little bit, your power went to your head, but then people reminded you of what it was like under that king. So you you used your power then to try to help others. So so I think you learned the lesson, yes,
Oh, wow.
because you still in this lifetime became a prosecuting attorney, and at the end, prosecuting deadbeat dads are helping them to pay out, but also in helping the families that they owe money to. So um, I think you learned that lesson. What do you? Can you pick up
Yeah,
some?
no, as you were talking, I could see her being with the people, the masses. I could also see that she traveled. I felt like she traveled. And it's so interesting because I know I was in that time frame as well. And so that's the time when I was doing the art. I mean, if that's true, right? I can't prove it. I just can't prove it. But that's but I've had too many synchronicities around that. But so this may be one of those rosare lifetimes that we shared, that we knew each other even then
When you said that, I had a feeling that you all did know each other.
at that time. But
It's
we knew each other before then too. That is so interesting.
Well, you knew each other from other lifetimes, but yeah,
Right. That's
you knew
yeah.
each other because uh, during the I can't think of the king it was, but anyway, he bought all these lavish stuff in the Palace of Versailles, and while the people were hungry.
Yeah.
Uh, but you were an artist back in those days, and he commissioned you to do certain work. But during the revolution, you weren't persecuted for that. You were still able after that to continue with your artistry and stuff.
Yeah, I left France.
Right.
Yeah,
Uh,
I went to Italy.
but you and Rosaire stayed friends.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
And
amazing.
in one life, the two of you were in a convent together.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
anyway, so that's what
Um, yeah. So yeah, we could go on about her, but there's one person here. She's got a really difficult question. I mean, because she's put it up several times. Roxanne M.
I can't see it. So
Oh,
what you want to read it out loud?
sure. Thank you. Okay, it says, "Hi, Kim and Mel. My life has been so different and difficult to everybody else, to family, friends. Which past life is influencing this one? And what am I supposed to learn this time?" And we do have to say that when this is sometimes get a past life, sometimes you have to go through a pretty deep thing, but maybe we can. Um,
Well, I've never been one that hung any misfortune in this life on a past life. I'm like,
mhm,
what did I learn from it?
mhm.
And so I don't think that I'm relegated to do something or not to do something in this life because of a past life. But here again, the idea is, what did I learn from it?
Right.
And how can I prevent that from happening again? And the most important thing is to never feel like you're a victim of a past life, or never feel like you're a victim, because you don't
Mhm.
have to be. You can step out of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just coming from my guides to tell you.
Oh, that's nice to say. Very good. Yeah, but we do carry traits,
I agree with that.
patterns.
We do. But that doesn't mean that we're relegated to certain behaviors or certain
Mhm.
things in this life just because we carry those traits.
That's right.
We have to
Yeah.
learn how to use them to help others.
Yes. And she wants to know which past life is influencing this one. Well, there's
Many
probably,
of many of them.
that's what I was going to say, many.
And I think that she's a very old soul. So she's got past life influences from many. I people, I can even feel past lives I had back in the times of the Neanderthal.
Oh,
And I
wow.
got my DNA done, and it's got more Neanderthal DNA than most people. So I'm like, okay, I get it.
Wow. That's
You know,
amazing. I
so
see Roxanne on a past life. I see her at the beach and I see her looking at the water. And who knows about the time frame? That's not too ancient, within the last 500 years, say. But I feel that she's kind of like alone. I feel aloneness with her, a kind of like looking out like I'm alone in the world, a feeling.
that's because it was a story like Romeo and Juliet.
Mm.
That she had a partner in love, and circumstances dictated they couldn't be together. It could have been because of familiar differences, class differences, and
Okay.
and because of that, um, I feel the partner uh, took his own life or took her own life, because
Mm.
in that life she was a guy,
Mm.
or took
Okay.
her own life. And
Yeah.
so that's why you're seeing her on this cliff feeling lonely, because the mourning of the lover who is gone and is contemplating whether or not to jump.
Mm. Hmm. Hmm. I
Right?
actually do feel like this is in Europe. And
It is.
actually, yeah, I feel Europe here. Mhm.
I'm feeling Ireland actually.
Oh, okay.
No, no, no. I take it back. England is in England.
Mm.
It's right
I'm
around the
not.
tips of Dover.
I'm not sure, but that's. I don't know if that's related to this current life or not.
And then in a past life, there was persecution because of certain beliefs and thinking that you were a witch and you were in the dunking stool. And I forgot how that worked. If you drowned and you sank, you weren't a witch, or if you floated, you were. But either way, you were dead. So I didn't
Um,
laugh because it's just the irony of it. But um, just say to yourself, okay, I've gone through a lot in my past lives, but I'm going to seek happiness in this life.
mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
I forgot what the question was, but
Well, she just says that what is she's having different and difficult to everybody else, to family, friends. Which past life is influencing this one, and what am I supposed to learn? It's about feeling alone. I think there's something about
not
feeling
the
alone.
loneliness.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's better to be alone than to be in a relationship where you wish you were alone or are feeling lonely.
yeah, yeah.
Oh boy, I wrote the book on that one. Pick the volume. You got to kiss a few frogs. I kissed the whole zoo. But that's how I'm picking up on it.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
So anyway, Roxanne, sending you much love, dear. I
yep, sending you a lot of love. Okay. Um,
and healing, healing, healing.
yes.
I'm going to send this. I'm doing this for Roxanne. This is my little healing wand.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that nice? I've got a little Lemurian quartz here, and I've got a little selenite engraved with this flower of life on it. And then inside the sacred waters, probably from some in Europe, some sacred waters from around the world and crystals anyway. So Roxanne, I'm just to help some of this burden and maybe the feeling of loneliness. But you find your question. I'm going to work with Roxanne here and just to kind of ease her way
I
forward.
was going to ask if you have one of those like 12 sizes bigger, 13 sizes bigger to work on me.
I've got two of them.
I'll take an extra, extra large.
They make them a little bigger.
I'm teasing. At least, Roxanne, you got the small size. That means,
Well, this is the powerful one. This is a cutting. This is like what I use to cut cords and things.
ooh,
Yeah, and it's very
cut her cords with the past lives.
well. Just any bad any feeling of heaviness. I'm just feeling like just letting that go.
Okay. Um, Pikey Oliveira says, "Hi, Mel and Lovely Kim. Thank you both for what you do. My question is, how do I know who I was in my past life? I've always felt I was a man, tall and big man, maybe at the turn of the 20th century, and I was hoping that knowing who I was could help me in this life. I think I didn't treat women very well in my other life, and now I am one to really know what it feels like to be a woman. Is this correct? Love from Trish."
Trish.
Well, if you're getting that flash that clearly, then my guides gave me cold chills, and they're saying, yes, you absolutely were that man you're seeing in your past life.
Yeah, don't
But
carry that burden though.
it doesn't mean you have to, just because you didn't treat women very well then, doesn't mean you have to come back and be abused now or be an abusive. Take your power back.
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you for saying that. And I got chills too, Mel. So I agree totally on that. Um, and don't remember that's a fragment of you that's not you now. You're much more evolved being.
Oh, your dog is singing. I love it.
Oh my goodness, she wants out. I
You know what
think.
I call that? I call that doggy chorus, doggy opera. I love it.
When she gets really loud, it's not so beautiful.
Oh, okay. Uh, I've got one here. Amanda Carrion says, "Good evening, everyone. I hope you are well. I believe we can get through this madness if we all stay positive and stay together." Hallelujah. Amen.
Yeah, yeah. I
I
know. And that's we have to focus on the light, not the dark. I mean, like
right.
if we're in the tunnel through the wormholes or whatever, and there's a light up there, keep our eye on the light.
And Antonia Alvarez said, "Good morning. She must have posted this morning. You guys are amazing. Thank you for keeping us calm and showing us how to manifest and have hope." Well, we're doing our work, and you can do your work in spreading the word of the light.
Yeah, we're all light workers here.
Correct. Okay. Um, uh, Jenny W said, "Wow, I was thinking about this topic last night when I went to sleep. Kim and Mel, could you please tell me what in my past lives has impacted me the most or the most significantly in this life? Namaste." Well, I think we kind of touched on that a little bit, that we don't have to stay a prisoner to a past life.
When you were reading it, Mel, the very first thing I thought something about money in a past life that's affecting this life. There's some sort of a trail on this, and it's a little bit like I see her as a man is in a past life very greedy.
Bill collector.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
I saw Bill collector, and I saw stupid colors.
Very greedy. And so now, like, she might be on the opposite end now or something around about that. But there's something about money. I also feel like it's familial, not just past lives. Sometimes how we might be the past life, our great grandmother may be us. You know what I mean? How that goes. But I feel like it's familial and past life, this theme here.
Correct. Okay.
So I don't know what that means to you, Gina, but Mel and I agree that there's something about greed.
Bill collectors will do that. All right, here we go. All righty. I'm enjoying this. Ruthie, hello, Kim and Mel. Past lives are fascinating to me. Please help me know how to connect when I should or know how. Well, past lives, I just have feelings and glimpses of it, like in Rome or in Florence, I felt I was during the Renaissance and spoke up against, the suppression of the church.
Mm.
And did it through work. I was a scribe, actually. I saw myself as a writer, as a scribe.
But how did you see it? What she's wanting to know is how did you see that?
I just felt it. I just,
Okay.
you'll get a glimpse. If you're visual, it'll be in your mind's eye, or it could be a feeling. All right. And then what happens is the analysis paralysis takes over. Is this me seeing this? Is this me thinking this? Is this really past life? Is this da, da, da. That's the analysis paralysis. But go with that initial feeling, that initial vision, if you're visual or inner voice. I had a past life regression once with Susan Whiteheart. She's an excellent, excellent hypnotherapist. She's written many books, actually. And we did a group at my office, and I saw myself crucified upside down.
Ooh.
I said, but I don't know if that's wishful thinking or whatever. And she goes, okay, but let's look at it like this. Whether or not you believe it's a past life, look at the symbolism it has for you now. You need to stop being the martyr. And boy, it hit me between the eyes. And I said, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So sometimes we can use that past life, whether or not you think it's you thinking or your intuition, but that symbolism.
Yeah, the symbolism.
And
The
take
symbolism.
that.
Yeah.
So that's how it works for me.
Okay, good. I like to sometimes I get what you're talking about, just the flashes. You're there, get the flashes like, oh yeah. Oh, like when I went to Ecuador, I just like, well, I'm home. I just felt so much like this is, although I didn't have like a past life remembrance, I just felt at home. But I think there's lots of meditations you can do even on your own. You can find those guided meditations to kind of have a glimpse of a past life. And also you can dream about it. You can put it as you're going to sleep, write down. Like I remember when I was wanting to find out about Lemuria, me in the land of Mu. And so I wrote it down right before I went to bed. I'd like to have a dream about this. And I did. So
Okay.
it can happen, but may take more than one night to do that.
It's not like that is going to happen, but you can program for it.
Right.
Yeah, I feel that way on Kauai, but there's, I felt that way in Rome. I felt it in Florence. Siena, I loved. When I was in Alto Montecatini, I was having visuals, because I'm really visual.
Yeah.
But if you're auditory, it'll be auditory. It could be a feeling,
Yeah.
like a feeling that I was here before.
Right, Ruthie. And I know, dear Ruthie, she's a sweetheart.
For example, when I was in the Czech Republic and we went to Theresienstadt, that was a German village where Hitler sent like Jews and people that he wanted to get rid of, and he would give them fake titles to like properties there and stuff until they got there. And he used it as a holding spot before they were sent to the death camps in Poland. And when we walked into the school and saw the artwork the kids did, I cried and I felt like I've been here. I knew I had been. And I saw myself as an infant.
Oh, wow.
I saw myself dying. And I thought, I died here as an infant.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah.
So it doesn't always have to be happy memories of a past life.
You're right. But Ruthie, I see you I as a nun. Most of us have been a nun, but I see her as a nun and working with kids. And really, I mean, she works with kids now because she has a lot of kids.
It was helping kids escape persecution back then.
Oh, yeah. And as a teacher, I see her as a teacher. I see her as a nun. You still have the same kind of theme, Ruthie, actually, that I feel. Always been an angel, Ruthie. I don't think there's ever, I don't think you've ever had a life where you've hurt anybody.
No.
It's amazing, really.
Oh, this is a good one. I can't pronounce the name. Gilrayan says, "You two very special people. Good to see you both. I'm a pro singer. I admire people that can sing because when I sing, people tell me to shut up. I couldn't carry a note in a bucket. Always having trouble singing high notes. All my life, is there a past life that has affected my voice? Broadway veteran here. Well, if you're a Broadway veteran, you got to have a decent voice. So you're a soprano, mezzo soprano. What's below mezzo soprano? Alto? I don't even know. I think in a past life you wanted to be a singer, and you had a beautiful, beautiful soprano voice, but you got tuberculosis. And you passed away at a young age due to tuberculosis. So, and you were singers and performers in many past lives, but in this life you come back. And now you can't quite hit the high notes, but look, you're a Broadway veteran. And even though you couldn't hit the high notes, you still did well as a singer. So, there was an influence from a past life, but you didn't let it hold you back in this one.
Right. No, I see her as multiple past lives as a singer.
Absolutely.
No, and I see her as a man.
Well, once you were castrati, I felt that strongly. If you know what a castrati is.
Oh, no. Castrati?
Castrati. Castrati. A castrati was, they would take younger boys and they had with beautiful singing voices, and they would castrate them so that their voices wouldn't change when they went through puberty. They would still keep these beautiful voices, and the vibrato and the timbre, I forget the right words, but they weren't quite soprano, they weren't quite mezzo soprano, they were a combination of alto and all of that. But there's some recordings left of a castrati, I think, who died in the 1920s or 1930s. And if you hear that, it's like, whoa. So I think she was a castrati in a past life.
Okay. Yeah, but I think she's also even a man as a singer. And that could be somehow remnants here of not getting to the high notes. There's something about that, but it's multiple. This is your soul is about singing.
You were baritone in a past life.
I feel like she sings with the angels. I mean, this is what she's going to do even when she crosses over. It's like this is what she's going to do forever. Really, it's what's her
In one
gift.
of those lives, you were like a singer in a dance hall.
Oh,
It was like in the early 1800s, and it was really cool.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was in
right,
France.
yeah, right. And just visiting, saying it's horrible. But you know what? There's so many things that have that versus all the other things that people have done to humans. That's why we're in this matrix here. That's why humans are different than other planets because we are kind of mean to each other. You
Right,
know,
exactly. I
and that's why
agree.
it's a learning school here.
It's a learning school.
It's a hard one.
Yeah, it is. But I've always been hard headed, so the universe has to hit me over the head with a ton of bricks to get my attention.
Yes. No, no, it's a privilege. Absolutely a privilege to be here. For sure. We have to
Well,
think that way.
I don't know if this is a question, but I want to post it. It's not on the topic, but it says Teresa Haydarian says, question: my friend's husband passed away suddenly and while at home. Face turquoise covering eyes a week ago. Gary was 71, lived in Wisconsin. Her name is Darlene. I don't know what the question is.
I think she's just saying maybe she wants healing around it or
We
something.
can send healing to that person, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. To
Sorry for the
Darlene.
cross. But he crossed
Darlene.
right over. Gary crossed right over just like that.
I see him in blue. He's all in blue light, the blue light.
Yep. He crossed right to the light. Um,
Yeah. Send healing to her.
and you're going to see him. It's like when you get up to go to the bathroom to get a drink of water or something, and Darlene, you'll see him. You're not awake, you're not asleep, but out of the corner of your eye, you'll see a figure real quick, and you'll think, what was that? That'll be him letting you know he's around.
And I feel smells too.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah.
Especially in the bathroom. I don't know why I just got in the bathroom.
Um, what's that called? Oh, my Claire's.
The Claire Alliance.
Yeah, Claire Aliens or Claire Aroma.
Yeah.
Claire Ambience, I think, is taste. Thank you. I couldn't remember my Claire's for.
Well, I couldn't remember my name. I couldn't remember my own name the other day. So
Club. I was looking for my cell phone the other day and it was in my hand. I go, where's my cell phone? Gary called my cell phone. He goes, you're holding on to it. I'm like, oh, good.
Patty wants to know if she was a healer. And I want to just, because that was a quick question, I'm going to say yes. I mean, I just feel yes, absolutely. And I feel like with children and babies, especially, I get that with her.
Okay. All right.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's Patty D.
All right. Gina M says, what past life is influencing my current life? Many of them influence our current lives. Now, in terms of lessons, why am I running up against trouble now with my current career path? Is that related to past or current life? Sometimes what we think is a wall, or the old saying, sometimes what we think is a curse is really a blessing. And so I don't know if you're running up against trouble with your current career path. Yes, you're not maybe getting to where you want to be within the career, but I see you taking a turn off and doing something a little bit different. And that's going to be very successful for you.
And it's all related. Past.
You were in careers you didn't like and you stayed in it just because you had to pay the bills. But I see in this life, maybe you're in a toxic environment or something, and I see you getting out of that toxic environment, and I see something new, some kind of different job, some kind of different little career path, and you're going to be like, yay. What are you picking up, Kim?
Well, I just think it's all as a continuum about the past. We can't separate whatever it was in the past that's working now with your career. And I don't know why, but I'm getting writing, something about even if it's just writing for yourself, but I feel like writing will help move things along. and bring up old wounds or whatever, even if you don't, even if that's not the purpose, but you're just writing to clear your field and to open new doorways. I feel writing will help with this.
But I also see that I see you happy in future career.
Mm,
There'll be some obstacles, but I see you happy and I see balance and harmony. So that's how I see it.
nice. Okay, good.
Okay. Well, I like this. It says Perry Goldman. Hey, Perry. I'm always delighted that the best mathematicians back then were also the best sculptors. There was just something about sculpture that helped them tie all their knowledge schools together. Well, I can't add in my head. I have something called just calculus, so math was not one of my weak points. Was not one of my strong points. But I'm sure they had to have some idea of angles, and I just like with Michelangelo that movement in his sculptures, and they're like frozen, but you could see the movement, the
Mhm.
motion that he's trying to convey. And so, I'm sure there's math involved. There's study of anatomy. There's genius talent there, absolutely.
Mhm. Mhm.
Leonardo da Vinci was a great mathematician, and look at the inventions he made. So I think a lot of the artists back then were great at art, but were also into math. Yeah, and the great composers too.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I just wanted to put that up because I thought it was interesting.
Mhm. Kelly's saying that she knows every past life she's ever seen. This is Kelly Scarborough. She's died young. Now that doesn't mean, of course, not every single past life she's died young, but she has noticed that.
Well, she's going to live to be older than a bag of dirt in this one.
I agree.
Doesn't have to worry about it. Okay. Um, Tina McSee says, hi, could I have a past life reading? When I see or hear Mary Magdalene's name,
Oh
I feel
wow.
the connection that this is a past life. Also, I cry at times when meditating on her. Well, I don't know if you were Mary Magdalene, but I think you were somebody close to her.
Yep. She was a student.
Right.
I see her as a student. Now, they all learned, there's a big group that learned together, and,
You know
part of
who
the
was there?
Essenes.
Rosaire was there.
I know.
That just hit
She
me. I got
was.
cold chills. Hi,
Uh,
Rosaire.
yeah, I was there too, but maybe not with, uh, that's where Rosaire and I figured we were in that era, knew each other in that era as well. But yep, I see
Uh,
you as a student.
oops, I just did something wrong. I'm sorry. Let me get back. I'm trying to get back to comments.
Okay, Kelly says, haha, I feel like a bag of dirt some days.
Yeah, don't we all? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here's one a little off topic. I lost my 17-year-old cat Simba. Simba means lion in Swahili, actually, on October 14th. I'm so sorry. I hope he's happy on the other side and he knows how much I loved him. Of course he knows that. I hope he's with another cat of mine who transitioned in 2022. Actually, he's with two other cats. Um, and I see another Simba coming your way.
I see Simba as being more of a guide, even, and protector for UK.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
there's Rosaire. She says, "Okay, I was there. Yep, she was there with Mary Magdalene. Yep, yep.
well, I was a prostitute in past lives, but I wasn't married.
Oh no.
I actually had a past life regression, and in a couple of them, I was a dancer in a dance hall, and I was a singer, and I can't sing in this life, but I love to dance, so that part carried over. When
Okay.
I'm depressed or something, I put on music and I'll dance. It
Yeah,
helps.
that's nice. That's a good idea.
I danced
I
my
like
way
it.
through cancer.
Wow.
Um,
Okay.
I put on Loretta Lynn and Patsy Cline and Waylon Jennings and all them and listen to that old country and western music and just do a nice jig, and it helped me a lot.
Uh-huh.
My
And I
southern.
did see you dance a little bit. By the way, I still owe you a Bloody Mary. But I thought about that today. I owe you a Bloody Mary. But I saw you dance a little bit. Yeah, you're a good dancer.
Where, where,
Um,
where was I dancing? Refresh my
I
memory.
just saw some kind of little. I don't remember. It was just something. I don't remember
Well, if you
where
come
we
to
were.
the Pine River Cruise, you'll see me dance every night because we hit the lounge.
Oh, fun.
Oh,
Okay. All
okay.
right. So let's see here.
Let me see.
We know.
I'm
Yeah.
scrolling through to see what questions we have. Let me take a look.
Lots
I'm
of
just
people.
scrolling. I'm trying to figure.
Okay.
If you see any, Kim, let me know.
Well, sure. I can see one from Stephanie. I can't post it, but it says, "Who was I in a past life?" Her name is Stephanie. Stephanie. You know,
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I would say, we were just talking about dancing. I see her as a dancer.
Oh, cool.
I,
Tanya D says, I bet you had some nice moves, Mel. I certainly did. So you saw Tanya as a dancer? I mean,
I see her as a dancer, but I also see her as a. Now this is Stephanie. Also see her cleaning floors too, and this looks. Ooh, wow! I'm gonna say 1800s if I had to, but I see her scrubbing floors, like as a job, and I feel like I can feel it even in my back as I'm saying it. Like, oh, that um, and I'm getting the idea that she only lived to be in her 40s. Now, I don't know why I'm getting that. I'm just telling you, I just got the flash of that for Stephanie.
okay.
And there's something about money too. Again, it's about money. Something about money. Maybe there was a poverty consciousness back then, or poverty, at that point in her life and her existence on Earth.
Rosier says, I have a strong connection with Mary Magdalene. She was not a prostitute. But wasn't she going to be stoned? And Jesus said, let he who is without sin cast the first stone. But I don't know why she was going to be stoned.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Okay, this is a good one. Delphi Love says, Mel and Kim, did I ever have a past life where I was a singer or worked with clay or was a Native American? Well, that's like 3 right there.
Delphi Love. Okay, let's see here.
And one of those, you were a medicine person, and you were a female medicine person. So medicine person would be somebody like a shaman that would travel to the different planes to see what was causing imbalance and then to work on those planes to bring back balance, because in the Native American ways, everything has to be in balance. If one thing's out, everything is. So you were Native American, and I see you sculpting like clay pipes, because in some of the Native American tribe, the clay pipe was the connection, the umbilical cord to spirit. And tobacco was sacred, and the tobacco smoke carried things up to great spirit, and it was purified. And that was the way that healing took place. So I know that you worked with clay, yes, and I know you were Native American.
I think she worked with clay in Australia as well. I feel Australia clay maker. Do they even have clay in Australia? I have no idea, but that's where I feel.
And I think the past life singing was more like chanting, because in some tribes, in some cultures, they chant. Like in Hawaiian, pule, in old Hawaiian, pule means to chant. And a lot of times it was about genealogy or about connectedness to spirit. So it was a chant. And so I can hear the chant and the movement and the dancing to go with it. So
yeah, transport you. It's a way to transport to another world.
Correct. Absolutely. That was the dancing and the chanting. It took us to the different planes of existence.
Yep. Past lives even.
That's right.
Or future lives.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we have asked this one. Marsha Baldwin says, What was I in a past life? Love you both.
I feel cat energy. I feel like she might have been it could be a cat person, a lion person, a cat lady. There's something about cats here for you, Marcia. I would love to know.
Let me just go back. I'm scrolling. Okay, that's Marsha, right? Okay, this is a good one. Nobody's asked this. Vincent is in the house. Vincent was in San Francisco. Nice young man. Are there any future lives that you see at play for me based on how this life plays out? Everybody asks about past lives. Nobody asks about future ones. Well, Vincent, I'm going to tell you, you're a very, 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 very. The dog chorus does what? They give us affirmation. And then some of the native ways we ask for an affirmation from spirit, I think we just got it from your dogs, kid. From the hounds of the Baskerville. No, I'm teasing. Okay, Vincent, I don't think you have a lot more past lives to go because you're such an old soul. I see one more life coming for you, but in that life, you're going to pass away at an earlier age because you just have to come back and experience life in this form one more time, and then your incarnations are finished. So whatever paths, PATHS, you're taking, continue on them. And I know that can be confusing. Like, what am I
Right.
supposed to do? It doesn't have to be one thing. It can be numerous things. And you're always going to find different things you're interested in. So your career is not going to be just one. It will be many. That's what I'm picking up on. You'll be
Mm,
a teacher as well.
nice. Gosh, I feel healer. That would be a future thing if Vincent isn't already a healer, but I feel healer in the future. But of course, we're going to live on forever. It just may not be on Earth.
Correct. Right.
So, I mean, it could be Mars, could be wherever. But we're going to probably be embodied in another realm, in another dimension, 5D, whatever planet or whatever. So it may not be Earth. But I do feel healer for Vincent coming up.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Rosaire said Mary Magdalene was turned into a prostitute by the early church.
Okay.
Okay, so there you go. I think, Rosaire, you would speak up about injustices that the church was committing, and they didn't like that. And so that's why you were persecuted, especially during the Spanish Inquisitions. So.
And can I say something about just visiting?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, because I see this on my site, on my thing here. I feel I had a past life in ancient Egypt. What do you see? And I feel the chills even as I read it. I'm getting the chills on that. You too?
Yep, I got chills of it.
Absolutely. Wait, in ancient Egypt, and I feel there's a couple, not just one, or there's probably way more than even two. I see a scribe is one, and I see healer, but a scribe. I don't know why I'm seeing scribe.
I was
Yeah.
a scribe in a couple of past lives, but I'm fascinated with ancient Egypt as well, specifically hieroglyphics. So when you said that, I got yes.
Okay, so scribe there. Okay, yes, yes,
Ancient
yes.
Greece, ancient Rome, ancient Egypt, that all fascinates me.
And then she just said yes. So that makes sense. Hi, White Dragon. I'm glad that makes sense to you as a scribe, and I feel a healer too in there. I
Okay,
know. You know what I did in ancient? I helped people die. What is this? It's a theme that's going on and never ends.
well, you give them peace before they cross over, which in essence is a healing, if you think about
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, yes, of course it is.
Okay, here's one. Did I ever have a past life in Hawaii and Yucatan? I don't know that. How do you say that? IHA. I don't get that.
I don't know that
I
either. I'm going to ignore that part,
I don't know what that says. Um,
Diana.
yeah, people, please don't use like abbreviations because I don't know how to make them out. But yes, you did have a past life in Hawaii. In fact, you
Mew.
you were a helper to one of the Ali'i. The Ali'i was a chiefly the ruling class. And there's a Hawaiian word mana. It means metaphysical energy or power. And they believe that you were only born with X amount. That's why you share it with someone and they share theirs with you. You don't rob each other of it. That's forbidden. But anyway, when that chiefly person would die or that Ali'i, their servants would prepare the body. They would hide the body somewhere. And then they would throw themselves over a cliff. And the reason for that was they would hide the body is because it was felt in early Hawaiian that the Ali'i, the chiefly class, had more mana than other people. And they didn't want a sorcerer to come and get the remains of that body to use that mana to make bad magic. And so they would hide the body and then kill themselves so they would never be able to tell where the body was located.
Mm.
And it also kept people from robbing them of their mana. So
Mm-hmm.
I see yourself throwing yourself over a cliff in that lifetime. And I think, yes, you were also in the Yucatan. I'm seeing pyramids. I don't know if that was the Incas or the Mayans, but one of those native civilizations, yes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see. What do you get, Kim?
No, I mean, it's okay. I think that's enough. I'm trying to follow all that, and I don't know. I think I might be getting mixed up.
About? I'm
But I
sorry.
mean, no, I just feel like she definitely was in Mu. You know, that the land of Mu with the Lemurians. Part of that's in the Hawaii. I think the ancient area of
See her in
Hawaii.
ancient Hawaii, and I
Yeah.
see her throwing herself over that cliff. But
Yeah.
she was a guy in that life.
Okay.
Okay, but there's many lives you can have in ancient Hawaii and all over. One
That's
of
right.
them, you were a mariner, and you were crossing from Polynesia to Hawaii. So you were excellent because there was no sextants, there was no compass. They did everything by stars and by looking at the waves. And they were experts at it. And so you were an
Mm-hmm.
expert mariner. So yay! I wonder if you like the
Nice.
water in this life because I see you surrounded by water.
Oh, that makes sense being from you too. Like, there's a lot of mermaid energy there too. And hi, warrior girl. I just have to say hi to her. Okay.
Okay, we got time for two more, then we're done.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. Maria Leonor Corriera de Matos. I love the name.
Oh my gosh.
People keep calling me Louise. Hi, Louise. And I have learned in a regression session that I was indeed Louise in a lifetime in France during the Second World War.
Yes.
Is that true?
Uh,
I'll say it in Spanish. Yo creo que sí. I think yes.
Me too. And I think there's more than one lifetime as Louise. Maybe
Right.
3.
That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Diana says she's felt very connected to steerage in both and Menehune. Okay. The Menehune were the little people that they thought built the ponds in Hawaii. I don't know if they existed or not, but it's legend, but I do believe the Menehune existed. So all right.
Wow.
Okay.
Well, there's a lot. This is very interesting, Mel. We need to do this again. I think we could continue.
I think let's continue this because it's really neat.
Mm-hmm.
I had a really good time with it, and the time went so fast.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody go to Kim Copeland's channel, thumbs up, subscribe. And if you like what we did here tonight, comment section, thumbs up, subscribe. And next week I'll be on Kim's channel and we can continue this next week if you'd like.
Yeah.
That's up to you.
That's right. That's great. Sounds perfect.
All right. And Kim,
All
you're
right.
better.
Thank you so much, everybody. Blessings. And I send you much love and light. And remember to focus on the light. Focus on the light.
All right. Stay well. Namaste. Aloha.
Namaste.
Bye-bye.